Loved it. I loved it. The car chases and the car stunts and the precision. Oh, you had to see the precision in the driving. This car was skidding for like few meters, man. This car was for a few 100 feet. This car was just skidding, and precision, the way they were driving, the stunts, and how smart is Robert De Niro's character, and how they showed it. He's taking pictures. He goes to scope out the guys with the case, and they pretend that the girl with him is his wife, and they go and they pretend they're tourists, and they're taking pictures, and how he's so smart. That character is so smart, and that's so special about this movie. Is in a lot of the films you see a lot of characters that are smart, but you don't see the process of them being smart. And here you could see him being smart. How he was showing to the guy, hey, can you take a picture of me and my wife and just press like this and just click, 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 click. And he was actually taking pictures of the guys with the case. And then he goes out, he leaves his wife there. He's like, yeah, just take a couple of pictures of my wife. He goes out and he puts a sign, and tilts it and puts it right behind the luggage car, and tips the bellman or the hotel luggage guy. He tips him and he says, take my luggage upstairs or something, he says. And the guy goes to take the luggage, and the sign drops. Bam. The sign drops. Bam. And the guys with the case, and they react as if it was a shot, and they react and they do their routine of what they would do if they heard a shot or if they were in trouble. And he catches it all on camera, and he's like, now, okay, so they don't panic. They're one guy is going straight for the case. So one of the most amazing things about this movie was how smart Robert De Niro's character is. How smart he was, unbelievable. And he caught that guy, that guy who was at the start. He was a little anxious, and he was always talking about guns, and you do this and he starts to go and draw on the board. And he's like, you put a shooter here, you put a shooter there. And he goes and he places that coffee on that fucking table. He places that coffee on that table that he knows he's gonna use that coffee. And it's 10 feet away, and he goes to the board and he's like, oh, is this what you're gonna do? And those two people, if you put those shooters there, they're gonna shoot each other. And so he calls him out. He's so smart, he's so quick, he's so precise, so effective. He's the man to do the job. It's unbelievable. That movie is it's realistic at the same time, but at the same time it's fucking entertaining. It's entertaining, man. And that's what I want from a movie. I want entertainment. I like real, but at the end of the day, we want to enjoy it. And how you enjoy this movie is the thrill. The thrill that it offers is unbelievable. The characters, nobody's got no moral codes or no ethics or no nothing. They'll do anything in a second. They'll betray anything. They'll do anything to get their way. And none of the characters seem what they are. It's such a precise and well-made movie. And I really enjoyed it. The car chases, all of them. I think there were 3, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe 4. I can't even remember now. I just watched it. But all of them. And the shootouts, a couple of shootouts in Paris. And the car chases, they're going through the markets, and there's people in front of the cars, they're diving out, and that's what makes it so real. That's what makes it so exciting. You see a lot of car chases in a lot of Hollywood movies, and what it is there's it's all about speed and how fast he's going zigzag and he's going through that. But when there's a guy, when you're driving that fast and there's a guy who jumps out of he jumps out of the way of the car, that puts an immediate danger right there. You feel like, oh, he just killed that guy, he just ran him over, but he jumped out in front of that. Just adds, this movie is so layered, this movie is unbelievable. I love this movie, and I will keep watching this movie for the next 40 years if I have that much time here. I will watch that movie in the next 40 years, and after 40 years you can watch it and you would dig this movie, man. This movie is, and Robert De Niro is just so good, man. It's so good. You forget how good an actor he is. I mean, I don't forget, but sometimes you watch his latest movies and they're not the greatest, but you forget how fucking impeccable this actor is, man. Robert is one of the greats. He's the great, and if not the greatest that I can remember from the last generation or this generation. And he doesn't do anything, There's cameras, the shots and the cameras moving up to his face, and he draws you in. He doesn't do anything, and that makes him more interesting. And you want to know, you want to think, and he's watching the way he watches the streets. He listens for the sounds, and he just watches. He's looking for danger. What could be dangerous? And at the beginning of the movie, he plants that gun outside before he enters the restaurant. The way it was set up and the music and very little dialogue, especially even throughout the whole movie, but especially at the start when the opening scene. There's a lot of behavior, there's a lot of people doing things, but very little dialogue, and that's lovely. Now I can't say enough about it, man. I cannot say enough about it, man. That fucking chick, that fucking French girl. That fucking French girl is fucking hot, man. She's fucking banging, dude. Wow, that girl was fucking hot, man. Whew, wow, fuck, I can't. Oh, man, that girl was fucking hot, dude. I fucking had a crush on her. That she was so hot. That beautiful blonde hair, and she's sexy, and she's got style, and she's got that accent, and when she's angry, she's even more hot. Anyway, but that was. I don't know what more I can say about it. I can say so many things about it, but this movie was beyond any. It was beautiful. This movie was beautiful, and I want to see more movies like this. It was a ride from start to finish, and they developed characters, and they you knew about what was motivating all these characters, and it was well done, man. It was a lovely movie. It was lovely. It was great. It was great. Yeah. No, it was great. I just loved how secretive it was, I love how secretive it was. And I love how the plans were really well thought out, and how precise and how realistic these plans were that they made to, hit those cars. There were 4 cars with that guy with the briefcase, and they were planning to hit those cars, and they did. And the way they planned it was so great. It was so realistic, and yet it was so much fun. This movie was great fun. And that car chase scene, all of them. But and he switches the case. That fucking guy, that Gregor guy, he switches the case, and he sees it. And Robert De Niro sees paint on his hand, and he's like, throw that case away. Throw that case away. He switches that. That movie was fucking fun. That movie was fucking great. It was brilliant, man. That movie was fucking brilliant. Fuck it. And Um, the car chase, the one where that girl is driving and Robert De Niro and Vincent are following her, and she's going through opposite traffic, and those they're all the cars coming, they're giving them the lights, they're headlighting them, get out of the way, and she's driving in the opposite lane and with oncoming traffic, and the way she's going through it, and man, and the way Robert De Niro and Vincent are going through it, those stunt people, whoever did those, set that up and pulled that off, it was brilliant, man. Hats off to you guys, hats off. And the way the stunts were working, there was a truck that fell over, and there was it was so realistic, and these cars were hitting you know each other, and they would just pass by. A lot of these stunts were so precise, they were so well done, and they were planned well, but they it looked like it was just like he did it. And there's a car that slides, and there's a wall, and it hits the wall, and it swings, and there's a gap of just one car, and De Niro drives through it. That was one of the most brilliant things I've ever seen. The movie was unbelievable. I couldn't breathe for half of the movie because of the thrill. Stupendous. It was great. It was great. And I want to see more movies like it. I want to see more movies. I don't know how they made it. I don't know how they made it. It was great, man. It was well done. It was a very mature movie. I love the characters. I love the character development. We got to know them when we didn't really know them. And it was entertaining. The movie was entertaining. It was moving fast with these characters. It was just bang, 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 bang. And when they take the bullet out of Robert De Niro, when he's making him take the bullet out of him, that scene was hard to watch. That was fucking hard to watch, man. I couldn't watch that. That was hard to watch. And De Niro, so active, acting was so good in that scene. By De Niro especially. He's like, don't pull that bullet out unless you really got it. So that was hard to. That movie was hats off, man. Hats off. Movie, brilliant job, good job. I loved it. I loved it. And thank you guys for that movie. Thank you so much. We don't get to see those movies like that, and I want to see more movies like it. I loved it. I loved it. And if my appreciation, or if it means anything at all, I want to see more movies like it. So please make more movies like it. I loved it. And the way Robert De Niro approaches that guy and asks him, hey, I'm looking for the post office. Can you tell me where the post office is? That guy was, he was working for the CIA, or he was a spy or something, and the way he passes him the number, he's like, all right, give me the number. He passes him, it's in his newspaper. It's on a little note, and it's sticking out of his newspaper. And then he's like, thanks. He walks back, sits at a table. He gets a call in the restaurant. The waiter gets De Niro, and the car passes by, and he's talking. He's like, yeah, something he says, I don't even remember. He's like, yeah, he's here, and he's somewhere. He tells him where he is, and he drives by, and the camera goes up to De Niro, and he's on the phone. It was brilliant. This movie was fucking brilliant. Movie was fucking brilliant. Good job, De Niro, man. De Niro, man. Thank you for picking this movie, and thank you for doing it the way you did it. No other actor could have done it like this. No other actor, the precision and the mystery and the aura and the authority that De Niro has. Nobody else could have done it like him. Nobody else could have done it like him. Lovely. And I want to mention the figure skating at the end. Poor girl got shot. That was not good. I didn't like that. She was so talented. And the figure skating was impeccable. It was so enjoyable. It was beautiful. De Niro was looking for the Russian guys, and he was looking through his binoculars. He was looking for the guys, and I was like, no, 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 look at the girl, look at the girl. I want to see her figure skating. It was lovely performance. It was so good. I really, really, really enjoyed it. I'm not a guy who's into figure skating, and I don't watch it, and I don't follow it, and I don't know anybody who's in it, but I really enjoyed it in the movie, and it's hard. That is hard. That's not easy. And it was pure art. She did such a good job. It was lovely to see. But yeah, this movie was unbelievable, man. It was unbelievable. Um, yeah, I don't know if I got anything left to say, but I loved it. I loved it from the bottom of my heart. And I would pay, if it was in the theaters, I would pay $10, $12, whatever it is. I wouldn't pay more than 12 because movie fucking tickets are so expensive. But I would pay $10, $12 to watch it in the theater. I loved it, and I'm going to keep watching it again and again and again. Good job, guys. Thank you so much. And that fucking chick was so hot. Fuck me, that chick was so fucking hot. Thank you, guys. And that's it. This is it, man. That was a lovely movie. Lovely movie. I'm so glad I saw it. And thank you to everybody who made that movie. Thank you so much.